Another incredible day in Walla Walla, Washington. It's like 70 or something. But Gary next door told me it's going to snow tonight or something. So, whatever. But I'm going to take advantage of it now. I got the back cover off this radial drill, and I'll talk about a few things about it and what I've learned. So, let's have a look. Okay. And yes, I smell like kerosene. it, I think I probably used some stuff, a lot of things that I shouldn't. Okay, this is the back part of the drive on the on this radial drill press, Morris Speed. And this is a part I was talking about. I had so much problem with is water got in here when it was in the scrapyard. It froze this gear. It was terrible, a terrible situation. But I was able to pull this cover back here, and you could slide the whole head and leave the gear stuck on this shaft. So I had this gear stuck on the shaft, and I heated and cooled and used beeswax, you name it, whatever penetrant, I used it. And it finally came loose. The only alternative, if it didn't come loose, and I probably would have done it, is saw the spline off here. And I got a quote on making a new spline, about $1,200. So I'd be another $1,200 in this thing. But luckily, these bevel drive gears are just fine. Now, so the power comes from the motor, reduction gearbox, and through the electrical compartment. I think you could see the shaft here, then comes out here, rotates this gear that's on the spline that slides, so the head moves. And then the power goes up to the top, up, and the shifter's here, and up at the top, and that's pretty cool. I think it's over there, but I'll show it to you. There's a brownish sharp oil pump, gear type oil pump, and then on this face here is a Kuno, where a Kuno oil filter goes. And I'm gonna take this stuff off because the gasket's deteriorating, and get that fixed there. So let's get back over to the other side here. Looking very good. Look at this, you know, this thing's, I just move it with my hand, see? I give it a little push. But it moves very easy on the bearings down there. Okay. Now, so the power comes up through the gears here. Here's shifters. Let's see, this one will shift, you can see. Maybe, yeah. And the oil pump's right in there. And while I'm thinking of that, let me grab this. Now, this is a World War II item here. It's a Kuno oil filter. And it's a series of flat pieces of metal and disc and stuff. And you turn this handle and it cleans itself. It's self-cleaning. And it was a big thing in the 40s and on military things because you could, you know, it was reusable. And there happens to be one on this old Axelson here. Same thing. Kuno oil filter to keep filter clean, turn handle frequently. Okay, guys, that's Kuno oil filter right there. So, okay, now one of the things I wanted to point out is that this drill press spindle is kind of constructed like a Bridgeport one, but it's bigger, of course. But the other type drill presses, radial drill presses, have a big Temkin bearing down here, and what comes down is a solid shaft with the Morse taper socket, so the bearings stay up here. Okay, and if you happen to find one of these things full of water, you know, like water got in it, if the bearings are down here, they're going to be trashed. They're big Temkin bearings. And this spindle here is constructed of ball bearings. and with a single Timken to take up thrust on the spline end. So that's kind of the gist of that. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I gotta drink some coffee, I get so hoarse, is someone mentioned that their lathe is just really dull. And this one is too, this old Axelson. And it's starting to shine up. I wipe it with kerosene, which is probably a caustic bad stuff nowadays, but I've always used it, and there might be something better. But after a time putting oil on it, wiping it down with kerosene, it'll brighten up. And the reason it's dull, most likely, is the tapping fluids used during the 80s, 70s, and 80s. I got an airplane. We'll run into the shop real quick here. Sure, we got time-wise. I think we're hanging in there for a while. And I'll show you the tapping fluid right here. I happen to have a can of it. It's the extremely toxic Mystic Metal Mover. And they have bragging rights down here. Right at the bottom, it says, does not contain carbon tetrachloride. That's really nice. But I tell you, that carbon tetrachloride was great stuff. Okay, now we're going to get around here, and it says right here, product contains, right in that little place, if you can see it, product contains 1,1,1 trichloroethane. And that's nasty stuff, but it's not as bad as carbon tetrachloride. But that's what stains this cast iron. And this is the stuff that got underneath the vices and stained them, okay? But this is really good tapping fluid, really good. And I use it in the most emergencies. I didn't have to do it on that tough steel that I just did, but sometimes, like on the harder titaniums, I machine a lot of titanium because we have a Sandvik extrusion plant here, and the hot rod guys get shorts and have me make stuff. Great business. I don't have to get the materials; they have to get everything. All right. Mess of that stuff, but I'll make anything they want. Yeah, see, my shine's still hanging on there. Real, my kerosene shine. But this old Monarch here, now this was out at Hanford, and the last place it was the Battelle National Lab, and it's all stained too. You know, it's darker than this one here. You know, about the time this machine was made, they quit using that stuff, and especially this was in a Western Electric plant, and you know, the OSHA was dumping all over that stuff, you know. And so this one here, it just takes time, or maybe it will never actually brighten up. And I can show examples of it where I've used it. Right here, you can see it. I can see it in the camera. That's a stain from that fluid. No, it's dirt. No, it is a stain. That's a stain from that. And over here, I think you can see too. I haven't used it over here for a long time, but if I did, it was for something like that hard titanium, which is quite a bit of fun. Okay, so I think I addressed a couple of things there, and I'm going to look at your comments and stuff if I'm wrongly using kerosene, which I'm sure I am. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, but I don't know. I'll probably keep using kerosene. I'm pretty stubborn. I'm old. Look out. Get off my grass. Okay. I'm not that old yet. I'm yelling at kids to get off the grass. Okay, so there's that boring head on that phallic thing. So we're gonna, I gotta take a break. Okay, bye.